Welcome to the virtual tour of the NRCS Heavy Use Area and Waste Storage Facility demonstration site at Ag Progress Days. This demonstration site was sponsored by USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service. And my name is Pete Vanderstappen. I'm the state engineer and I'll be the narrator for this tour. So before we actually look at the demonstration site, this is what the demonstration site is to work on. Typically in Pennsylvania, we have typical animal concentration areas that generate untreated runoff. So the animals are out here, there's no vegetation here, they're depositing manure and waste, and when it rains, the runoff that comes off these untreated lots can run right into the streams in areas where there's no treatment, causing surface water pollution. So one of the solutions we recommend is to take these earth lot areas and shrink them down by using a concrete as a stable area for the animals to loaf and eat on. So at Ag Progress Days, we actually built a small scaled replica of a typical animal heavy use area protection, we call it, which in this particular case we use concrete. And in the back side of that same photo, you'll see a roof facility, which is actually the area to store waste storage facility used to store solids. So let's take a look at some of the key components on this photo. So when it does rain, you're going to have runoff water, rainwater land in the concrete area. To remove that water, we have a couple choices we show at the demonstration site. In the blue circle site section on the right hand side, we actually have slots in the curb. These slots allow water to flow off the concrete pad and yet keep the solids on there. Now typically the flow water has some nutrients in it. It would flow into a grassed area, which we call a vegetated treatment area. Now, at this particular case, there was corn, but typically that will be a grassed area sized for the amount of nutrients we anticipate. Another option to handle the liquids that come off this lot is on the left-hand side, and we'd have a screen box, some different sizes screens to screen out the solids so the liquids could go through there, drop in a pipe, and flow to typically a long-term liquid tank or manure storage to hold those liquids till it's time to land apply. And as I said before, on the back side of the same photo, you'll see 3 walls there and a roof. That combination is a waste storage facility used to stack the solid manures. So once a day or once a week, depending on the type of animals, the solid manure in that lot is scraped to the back and stored, typically 3 to 4 months. And at some point in time after that, when there's a proper opportunity to land apply, that manure is scraped up and hauled out to the field and spread. But the roof is a key component to protect the manure so it stays in its solid situation. The other thing we try to demonstrate at the site is concrete walls. These concrete walls stand with the fact that they have reinforcing steel in them, and we actually have a cutaway showing the actual steel reinforcement inside that wall. The other issue you deal with when you have a roof is when it does rain, you have rainwater running off the roof. One system is a gutter system, but another system you can use is called a drip line drain. So a drip line drain is a stone apron along the length of the building where the rainwater drops. But in that stone apron, we actually bury a pipe with perforations. So the water that drops off the roof drops through the stone, gets to the pipe, and now can flow to a safe outlet. So it's a drip line drain. Lastly, in the picture, you notice that we have some pretty heavy members or timbers in there to keep the structure from racking due to wind load. And we'll talk about that in the next photo here. So on the right-hand side, if you look up into the ceiling area of the structure, we have these diagonal braces called knee braces. These knee braces keep that structure from racking left and right during a wind event. And there's also some littler braces called Y braces that keep the structure from racking the other direction. All these braces work with the roof truss and the bracing in the roof truss to make a very sound structure that can withstand a very high wind load and also withstand the snow load on top of it. Now on the left-hand side, we also try to demonstrate that these particular structure has many different components that make up the product, different sizes of nails, bolts, nuts, and also different types of lumber used to build the facility. Now, anytime you go out to Ag Progress Days, whether you have in the past or you plan to in the future, you never know who you meet. At last year's Ag Progress Days, the gentleman there in the white shirt is the chief of NRCS, Matt Lohr, and he's talking to some of the people out there that day, talking about NRCS and their thoughts about NRCS and those kind of things. So remember always to come out to these demonstration sites and see who you can see, and talk to NRCS staff about all the questions you would have on a heavy use area and waste storage facility. So in summary, we actually looked at a concrete heavy use area, typically used for beef or dairy cows. We looked at the screen box method of handling liquids coming off of that site that would go to a storage. We also looked at a slotted curb method to strain liquids that are also headed to a vegetated treatment area. We looked at the backside there where we had a roofed waste storage stacking facility. That's where we're going to stack up the manure solids over probably 3 to 4 months. And we looked at a drip line drain as an option to handle roof water runoff instead of typical roof gutters. If any of these things tweak your interest, why not contact your local NRCS field office at //offices.usda.gov, or you can go to our website at www.nrcs.usda.gov and pick Pennsylvania. Hope you love this tour, and hope to see you at next Ag Progress Days.